In Middleton, there was a guy that shot my brother, so I got into it with him, started this big-ass riot, and they sent me to Boston. In Nassau Street, I was locked up with Aaron Hernandez, seen him in the news, and when he got to the jail, it was like the biggest thing in the jail, like, oh my God, it's here. And that's like the life is black. Everybody looking at time was there. I don't know why they put me there. I was just on home invasion, but put me there, and they moved him there. And I was a runner, so I used to interact. I bailed out for $45,000, and I was out for 6 months on bail and caught another home invasion charge in Connecticut. During that home invasion, I got in the head. It's not like in the movies. You do not go for a gun and you do this and you do that and you end up shot. No. Well, at least it wasn't like that for me. When I seen the gun, I fought him. Like I was trying to knock him out. He was letting that shit go. He shot me 3 times. When he shot me in my thigh, buckled my legs. When I looked up, he hit the gun in my head and it peeled my wig back right here. Shot me right here.
Damn, bro.
I got shot, hit the floor, everything went black.
Wow.
When I woke back up, there was a cop and the guy was just talking over me like it was just like if I was just like a piece of furniture. They were just talking. They took me to the hospital and they said I had a trauma. I had like brain swelling. I was hemorrhaging blood. They put me like an induced coma for like a month, and that got me 10 years. Got a moment when they see you down, there's no love and all.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I got a special guest with me today. So why don't you tell the people your name, where you're from, how long you've been out, and what you've been up to since you've been out of prison.
All right, so this is new to me. My name is Joel. I'm from Lawrence, born and raised. I've been out since September, so about 7 months. And right now I'm doing mobile detailing. So anybody that needs their cars clean in summertime, I know you want to look good for the ladies, you can always hit me up on my Instagram, JAYEMX93. Been home 7 months, straight and narrow, ain't going back in.
Why don't you just tell the people how long it was that you were in for and where were you at, man? Where did you do time at?
I was in for I ended up going to Alpha House for 3 months, so about 9 years and 9 months, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it all in Connecticut. I had caught a charge when I was 22 in Connecticut. And I was stuck out there ever since.
Okay, so what made you get into the detailing business? Talk a little bit about how you got into that and how that's been so far for you.
Well, crazy part of what got me into it is my big brother. He did time too up here in Mass. And when he got out, he opened the door for me. So everything I'm learning from him, his Instagram, all he does is detailing. So we was doing it together. First when I got out, he did it with me. So once he showed me the ropes, he just let me branch off on my own. And now he does it on his own, but I got everything from him.
And so, and you're doing like your own thing separately too, like your own thing, like making your own money, or is it something that you guys kind of in together, or how does that work?
I mean, we're brothers, so it's always gonna be together. But yes, separate and no, because we both feed off each other. So whenever he needs help on too much work, I'll help him. Or if I need help on too much work, he helps me. So our plate is always full. So
it's not like he's your boss or anything. You're pretty much your own boss, and you guys kind of just swing off of each other, like how brothers do, kind of.
Yeah, we both are our own bosses.
That's fire.
But he's the one that pretty much put me onto everything.
Man, so that's what's up. So he did time in Massachusetts. How long was he out for before you got out? He's been out like a long time to set the foundation and have that going?
Yeah, so from Lawrence, if anybody knows me, all me and my boys, we used to get in trouble back then. So we all got went into prison around the same time, 2014, all of us. So he went in also in 2014. He went in for 5 years, so he came out like 2019. And since then, he probably had a misstep here and there, but he got his way. Now he's doing his thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, right now, like springtime, the good weather's coming out. Isn't this like the perfect time to get the car detailed, bro? Or how?
Nah, I guess I wasn't out last summer and spring, so
okay.
But from what he told me, right now it's booming. I just did a boat yesterday, so things are just picking up.
Wow.
Boats, cars, RVs, campers, everything. Everybody wants everything clean.
Wow. And then especially after the winter too, right? Everybody's got salt maybe on their cars and stuff like that too. So it'd be a good time to kind of get that done.
Yeah, in the winter time it slows up because everybody wants to get it clean, but at the same time, you clean your car today, get all the salt off of it today. Tomorrow's a big snowstorm.
Right.
Or even if the snow hasn't passed, the highway gets you right back with salt. So
absolutely.
It's more of it's slower in the wintertime.
Okay.
That's what I had to deal with right now.
That makes sense. So what exactly, if someone goes to like purchase like a service from you, the detailing service, what does that entail? Is there different levels, or like, I guess, what does a customer get when they ask their car to be detailed?
Yeah, there is levels. So basic level will be steam, power wash outside, no shampoo on the inside, but it'll be vacuumed, disinfected, the vents, and all the inside will be. I can't say I can make it brand new, but I can make it look like you've had it for a month since you got it out the lab.
Gotcha.
So it would be you'll be satisfied.
Absolutely.
That's the basic.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to make it brand new, you get a shampoo, get a scrub down, you get bleached. I'm not bleached. Chemicals, Armor All chemicals, everything, and made it to brand new with the paper, everything. That'd be more expensive. Okay. But it all tops out at the highest $450. So it's not nothing crazy.
Okay. So what about any like dealing with the customers and stuff like that? Any bad experiences so far since you've been doing this, or how would you deal with a customer that maybe complains or something like that? Because I know dealing with customer service isn't always easy. Some people just like to complain just for the sake of it.
Oh yeah. Dealing with customers it's a headache. Some people will want to pay the bare minimum, which I'm flexible. I'm not gonna make you. If you have a budget, I'm gonna try to work with your budget, but try not to expect me to go above and beyond and I'll take at least 3 to 4 hours by myself cleaning one car. But if you're giving me the bare minimum, you're trying to give me $120, you can't expect me to be there 6 hours on every detail. I'm gonna do the best. I'm gonna do a phenomenal job for you that you deserve, even above or whatever you're paying me. But some customers, they just want things their way.
This is a mobile detailing, so I guess whereabouts, can people get your services? Is this just like the whole state, or is this like just in the Boston area? Like, what areas do you service?
So I live in Boston, so 45 miles over from surrounding a big 45-mile circle around Boston. I cover all that.
What's been your favorite part about doing this so far, besides the obvious answer with the money?
The obvious answer, everybody would think, is the money. It's not the money, because I just came home from in prison. I was getting paid $1.70 an hour, and I was working 10 hours a day. So I was getting paid $17 a day, if that, on a good day.
Wow.
So the money does not move me no more. I guess from doing so much time, it's the solitude and not having somebody on me, and not say I'm gonna clean this Benz and I'll just be in there. That's why it takes me so long, because I just be focused in there, put my music on, and I just work. No interruptions for nobody. Nobody telling me to do this, do that. You got a certain time to do this, you gotta do that. I just work. Hard
work is like, it soothes the soul, man. There's something about like busting out a day of hard work. I know some people, I don't know, they can't cut they could go do 8 years, but don't want to do an 8-hour shift. I don't know, but like for me, I always feel good after doing something. Is that how you feel after the day?
I do feel like hard work is good for the soul, because even if I feel like any job you do, if you put a little bit of love in it, you're gonna do a phenomenal job. But if you go into the mindset, I gotta get this money and leave, you're gonna have backlash. Because there's been days that I didn't want to go to work, but I went, and just because I was in a bad mood, I ended up missing something, and a customer would tell me, "Oh, you missed this, you missed that." Then I get more frustrated because I gotta redo everything. So it's mostly just try to keep positive mind, and that gratitude at the end. Not even when you get paid, but when a customer gives you a smile and shake your hand and say, and they put you on for like, come back. That's the best feeling.
Absolutely. So what about as far as like how you get more customers? Is a lot of it, I used to do stuff with my uncle. He used to do like masonry, and a lot of stuff was like word of mouth. Word of mouth. He would like do somebody's steps, and then the neighbors would see it and be like, "Hey, what?" And get his card or something like that. Do you get a lot of like people referrals, or is it mostly through the internet, or I guess like how does that work?
I get mostly referrals, and the same way. If like I'll be cleaning the car, I'll be in somebody's driveway cleaning it. I always have either a orange hat on or my orange vest, so people knows I'm just working. And people will see me and they'll ask me, "Oh, you do this?" I say yes. I'll give them my number, I'll give them my card, and everybody would. So people. I'm not gonna say everybody always calls back, but people usually will contact me within like 48 hours and be like, the schedule for me.
Absolutely. So I mean, doing almost 10 years, that's a long time. That's a good little one to hold you over, man. You ever like catch yourself at moments when you're working or whatever, and it just hits you like, man, this feels good. Like I'm really free. Like you almost can't believe it. It doesn't feel real, or any moments like that?
Yeah, like even I get those moments all the time. Like earlier, I was just walking, and ironically, 10 years ago today is when I left prison into the halfway house. So I was just driving earlier, and I just remember, because my girl at the time, I had to call and just tell her I love her because she helped me throughout so much. And it was It was just amazing.
What was up with that anyway? Was that like just was that a parole situation? Was that just like something that was mandated? Was it like nowhere to go? Or what was up with the halfway house situation? Why was that something that became part of your story?
So Connecticut is different than Mass.
Okay.
Connecticut, when you do your time and 18 months, 18 months, I'm not 100% sure, I remember correctly, but it's 18 months to a year before your sentence is up, they let you, I guess, parole to a halfway house.
Okay.
Like, I was denied parole and my time was still going, but I still had to go. I could either go to the halfway house or finish my time in prison.
Okay.
So I figured, why not go to the halfway house? It's halfway out of prison.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, how was that experience? Like, were you able to start the detailing process while you were in there, or was that had to be in Connecticut? I guess what was that like? Were you able to come to a halfway house out here, or do they have like a specific one, like just for the jail or the prison rather? Or
Oh no, I wasn't able. I had to stay in Connecticut because Mass Connecticut is very territorial. They don't want to let go of the inmates. They don't want to let go of the prisoners. They want to keep you. So I had to stay in Connecticut the whole time. But it helped me build certain, like, open up bank accounts to get set ready for the detailing business. But as in like hands on and learning stuff, I was only able to use my phone. And I learned everything from it. Learn how to clean cars, how to use chemicals and everything from the phone.
So when you're in the halfway house, this is part of the plan, right? You already have this worked out with your brother, like, yo, this is what I do. I'm going to hip you kind of deal and kind of put you onto it. Or is that what the situation was? Was this something that you already had, guys were formulating even like before the halfway house or did it start in the halfway house? I mean, he's been doing it a while, so I'm sure you guys had talked. I guess talk about that.
Nah, so oddly, it wasn't. I had no plans of doing detailing. But in prison, I learned how to sew and embroider. So my thing was come home, stack a couple of dollars, and go into making my own like clothing lines. Because I know I became like a tailor. I learned that in prison. I was like one of the things I became good at in prison. So my mind was set with doing that. So, but when I got out to the halfway house, I ended up trying to buy the machines. The machines is way more expensive than I thought it was gonna be. It was like $20,000 for a machine, and I'm like, I'm not ready for me to invest that on and that. I gotta be able to generate the money back. So my brother gave me the idea, like, come join me, and from here we can work together, and we've been going up since there.
That's fire. That's fire that you said that you sew, right? Because my brother has been in 17 years himself, and he was just telling me how like he can sew and pockets and long sleeves and all that. But I feel like for people who have like people who've been to prison, I feel like they know that's what people do. But feel like from the outside looking in, people are like, you sew? What do you mean? Like what got you into the sewing, right?
So when I started sewing, first time I started sewing, I was probably like 18, doing time in Middleton out here in Mass. But I used to sew like little things, like little like gang symbols into clothes and jail, so everybody could look cool. So it wasn't nothing. It was that little hand. It was make a needle out of a battery spike.
Yep.
So it wasn't nothing crazy. But when I did time in Connecticut, they had me working like in a sweatshop, and it was first I was doing inmates clothes, all the like inmates tents and everything. I'm not saying I was doing good, but I got promoted, and ended up going to work with doing the officers' clothing.
Okay.
And then there they embroider, like, so all these things that sewn in there's certain machines that do it, and they taught me how to do that, and I just fell in love with it. It's called digitizing. I go on the computer and I can take a portrait and turn that all into stitches.
Wow, that's cool, bro. So what's been like your favorite part about being an entrepreneur?
Definitely the freedom, and like make my own hours. Don't gotta check in and clock in. In prison, I hated waking up early, but now I'm up at 5 in the morning
Go
because
figure, right?
some people. I'm based out of Dorchester. I live in Dorchester,
Yeah.
so some people will live in New Bedford and they want me to be there at 7 in the morning. So I gotta leave with traffic. I gotta leave like at 5:30, 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Make it there as soon as sun comes up, do their car, and then the way I schedule, I have like 6 cars throughout the day, and everybody be like 45, 50 minutes away from each other. So I gotta as early as I can, and I gotta keep going throughout the day.
Absolutely. No, but it never lines up like where the dude's just a block away from another customer, huh? It's always all around, right?
Nah, I was crazy. One day, I had somebody that referred to me, and it was literally around the corner from my home.
Oh, that must have been straight.
I could literally walked over there.
Absolutely. So, what is it that you're looking forward to with the detailing, right? Like, what are your goals as far as that goes? You plan on expanding? I guess talk a little bit about that. And I know, you're just getting into it, but like looking forward, man, what like if everything goes the way it's supposed to, which we know life doesn't really work like that, but say everything goes the way you want it to go, like what does it look like 5 years from now with the detailing business and everything?
Because right now I don't have my own shop, so I want to have my own shop. I have, I guess, a couple. my own couple workers working for me,
Hmm.
and once I have one, I should be able to open more around different states.
Okay.
So
So it was like cars, is that something that you were always into, or is it not really, or like I guess I guess talk a little bit about that. Or
nah, I mean, growing up, I was the illegal shit. So I had money and I had cars, but I was never into like the best car. I was just always want to be comfortable.
what if somebody came to you and asked for like advice? Somebody similar situation, maybe they just got out and they want to be an entrepreneur and want to start their own business. Like, what advice would you give? Hmm.
Patience, even with the people that, let's say you have somebody that's teaching you how to do something, have patience with them because a lot of people are stuck in their own ways right now, and you coming fresh out, it's just gonna end up bumping heads. So
Hmm.
have patience.
Bring it back a little bit. Lawrence, Massachusetts. Tell me about what Lawrence was like in your experience growing up.
Lawrence was bad. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love Lawrence head, but everything that all the illegal stuff I did, all the trouble I got was because of Lawrence. But I loved it. Me and my friends, it was one of the most hated crews out there. But Lawrence is Lawrence. When I was young, you probably had a lot of white and Spanish, but now it's just, especially these last 10 years I just did. I came out. It's like a little Dominican Republic over there. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, 98%.
Hmm.
The other 2%. Black families is probably two that I know personally,
Okay.
but everything else is Spanish. Probably
Okay.
1% white, one and a
And
half.
what about how is it broken down as far as is it like a is it East Lawrence, West Lawrence? Like how is the city itself like like divided in a way? Like
So if you're from Lawrence or if you know anything about Lawrence, there's really technically two sides, south and north.
okay.
But inside those places is broken down pretty much by like sides. Like the part I was from is from Prospect, so that's one side. There's a Tower Hill, the other side. Then there's like Tenny Street, that's like towards Methuen. Then there's Broadway, so it's a lot of. I guess it'll be like something like Boston,
Hmm.
but we don't have our own like boroughs.
Got you.
But everybody that's from there will know what part of Lawrence they're from.
Got
And
you.
South will be the same way. South got the stadiums, they got the beacons, got Springfield Street, got Salem Street. So everything is broken down to little places, but technically it's only still just south and north.
Okay, got you. And what about as far as like public housing projects? Are there projects in Lawrence and stuff like too? What's that like?
Oh yeah, there's projects, a bunch of projects. I got a lot of friends in the projects.
Okay.
Chill in the projects all the time. So yeah, it's a lot of
Okay.
projects.
But you yourself, did you grow up in the projects? Did you live in the projects? Just you were hanging out there?
I used to hang out there. I used to live, and my mother. I was always living in Prospect. That's pretty much when I heard of part of Lawrence. I'm from Prospect. So up there's a projects on Howard Street, and I never lived in those projects, but I lived down the street, lived on the opposite side, lived on this side. I lived all the way around it,
Okay.
never inside of it.
Got you. So let's talk about what was your household like? Did did you have any I know you said you got a brother, so was it you and your older brother? How many did you have any other siblings, any other brothers and sisters? And like did you have both parents in the house? I guess talk about like what your home was like growing up.
So it wasn't easy for me and my brothers growing up. So I grew up, there's six of us. My brother's the oldest, I'm the second oldest. Then I got four sisters from my mother. My father got killed when I was 4 in Lawrence. So she raised my grandmother raised us.
Damn. I mean, being so young, I'm sure, I mean, something so traumatic. I mean, did you still remember like when that happened? You remember like, did it feel weird or like, what do you remember from that? Because 4 is still young, but it's when usually a lot of times something traumatic happens, people still might remember. Was that something that you remembered or try to forget or?
Nah, I remember my dad clear as day. I love him to this day. I love him to death.
Yeah.
I remember him. I remember everything about him before I was 4 years old. I remember everything. I remember the day he got killed. I remember everything before that.
Wow. Wow. Well, at least you remember him. I guess break down what you remember from that day, like from your perspective. Like how do you find out or like what happens? What's that day like? Was it just a regular day? You go to school, summertime?
I was forced.
Oh yeah, 4. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
I was forced. I wasn't in school, but
Making the honor roll. No,
yeah.
sorry.
So I remember clear as day. I remember I was home. We just moved into a new house. I think we was living. We just moved into a new house in South Lawrence, and with my mother, my mother was so it was only 5 of us at the time. No, let's see, th- 4 of us. My sister, my dad's youngest wasn't born yet. My mother was pregnant,
Wow.
so it's 4 of us. And I remember my mother was unpacking stuff. My brother was playing one of the old Nintendo games, and I was helping my mother. My dad walks in and he's like, he on the phone with somebody, he's arguing with somebody on the phone. And he asked my mother where his gun. My mother had, I guess my mother seen everything happening. So me and her stashed the gun.
Right.
But I wasn't a mama's boy, I was a daddy's boy.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad asked me where it is, and I went and showed him where the gun was.
Wow.
So when he left, I guess whatever happened, somebody has ambushed him. I don't know. He ended up going to a block in Lawrence. They just shot him all up.
Wow. That's tough, man. Damn. So, I mean, how do you guys eventually find out? You get your mom gets a call from the hospital, the police. Do you remember anything about that?
So from my mother told me that I from there I can't tell you what happened after I was too young. But
Yeah.
my mother told me she got a call from like a neighbor because it was one of my dad's like one of the hangout spots, and one of the neighbors told him, "You come over here, something happened. We don't know if something happened," but she already felt it.
Wow.
So when she showed up over there, they were bringing the body out, and she seen it.
Yeah, man. Well, my condolences, man. I'm sorry that you had to, deal with that and go through that and your family and everything too, man. Did you notice anything about your mom? Like, how she handled it and all that? I mean, God bless her, man. I mean, did it make her stronger? Do you feel like it really started to get to her? Was there anything you noticed about her, or she just kind of kept it, you know, kept it solid and just did what she had to do for the family? There was 5 of you, 4, and then 1 on the way.
Yeah. So she kept it. I can't say she kept it solid at the beginning because it devastated her. She must have been like 22, 23 at the oldest.
Yeah.
So, and she didn't know nothing about America. Like my dad, her got married young. She came out here. She was everything. She didn't know how to make money. None of this. All she knew was him.
Mm-hmm.
So at first I think she was suicidal. She was devastated.
Wow.
She ended up overcoming it, and she got stronger throughout the years. Even though we struggled a lot growing up, but she overcome it.
Wow. So I guess where was she from? Then where was she born? And your dad, was he born here, or where are they from?
My mother's from Dominican Republic, the capital. My dad's from Higüey.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he was born in I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was raised in Puerto Rico, and he ended up marrying my mother, and then he brought her out here to America.
Okay. So how much older is your older brother? And I guess what was that relationship like? I know me and my brother, I'm the oldest. He's only like 2 years younger than me, but we were pretty much like best friends. You know what I mean? Growing up. What was that relationship like growing up?
Nah, me and my brother, we're a year apart.
Mhm.
My brother's 92, I'm 93, my sister's 94, I got a 95 sister, and I got a 97 sister.
Okay.
So we like pretty much all back to back.
Okay, that's what's up. And you guys were pretty close. Did you get into like when you get a little bit older, did you start doing sports and all that stuff? Did you get into any of that, or what were you getting into after school when you got a little older?
So I was always like mindful, like I don't want to join sports because my mother didn't have enough money to help me pay for stuff and go to games and stuff. So I pretty much just stayed home, took care of my little brothers and sisters, my little sisters and my brother. I used to be like the smart guy in the house. So
Okay,
I try to help mother as much as I can.
that's what's up, man. So I mean, how did you do as a student? How were you doing in school? Did you get good grades? Were you getting in trouble, or if you did get in trouble, when did that start? I guess talk about how you were as a student in school.
In school as a student, I did good in school. Like when it was school hours, I was good.
Hmm.
As soon as that bell rang, anything that happened there had nothing to do with school. But while in school, I had good grades.
Okay, so I guess talk about that once you get to that age where after school you're just kind of like you said, a whole different story. What kind of things did you start getting into, like hanging out outside? Like where did you guys hang in Lawrence? Like we used to hang out at parks down here. Like we used to go hang out like whatever at night, when the kids were gone, we'd chill at parks or on the block or whatever. I guess where were you guys hanging out, and what were you doing after school when you got to that age where you weren't just like home always taking care of your siblings?
All right, so after like got to that age that I just wanted to be outside, I was my boys are the J brothers, so I grew up with them, and I used to be hanging out with their house. It's like down the street from the same projects I was telling you about. So we used to be in there all the time and get into fights. That's how I learned how to fight,
Hmm.
fighting, doing dumb stuff, chilling with girls.
Hmm.
It's all dumb.
And you said while you were at school, you were a good student. None of that ever carried over into school, or did you eventually start getting like in trouble in school too?
And eventually, the car carried into school. So in Lawrence High, they put it in South Lawrence. I was from North Lawrence, so the two sides didn't really get along.
Okay.
So we used to fight a lot. to get into school and then fight it out when I got out of school. And eventually the fight started getting, and I never fought in the school, but I fought on school ground. I was the first person, the new Lawrence side, the first person to get arrested for fighting right on school property.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and that's how I ended up getting in trouble because of school, in school.
And this is at the high school.
Yeah, in Lawrence High School.
Okay. So do you end up graduating from high school?
No, I ended up getting pretty much kicked out of Lawrence High School because there was too much fights and everything. They were afraid of my safety and other kids' safety,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to Haver High School.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, I stayed there. Right, my senior year, I ended up catching a attempted murder charge, going to jail, so I didn't get to graduate.
Okay, so senior year attempted murder charge. Is this a adult case or is this a juvenile case?
I was 17, and it was both.
Okay, okay. So I guess talk about that. How does that work? You go into do you get like locked up right away? Do you make a bail and you start like fighting it from the street, or like, I mean, attempted murder is a serious charge, so I take it they can hold you too with a high bail. I guess talk about that.
They found me dangerous, so I couldn't.
Dangerous.
I got held. I got dangerousness hearing, so I got held, and I just ended up fighting the charge.
And that was something that you just fought the whole time, and you're in Middleton, or
I was in Middleton. I got locked up right before I turned 17. I ended up getting out at 20. I ended up beating the attempted murder and I got caught with the gun, so I
okay.
had to do 18 months, 2.5 years for that.
Okay, so when you say you beat the attempted murder, is this something that goes to superior court, or does it not even get that far and it stays in district?
It went to Superior Court, but so I got indicted on the gun charge. The jury didn't find enough proof that I was the shooter, so they didn't proceed on indict me on the attempted murder charge.
Okay, but this is still your first charge. Do you end up getting time for the gun, or how does that go? Did you go to trial, eventually plead out to the?
That was my first felony. Yeah.
Okay. And what came of that though? Did you have to sit in county jail, or did you get like time served because you were already?
I had to stay in county jail for 2.5 years.
So 2.5 year county bid. That's a little bit of a time, especially for the first one. Rewind just a little bit. Did you end up doing any like DYS time or anything like that? And what was that experience like, if so?
Yeah, I did DYS times to the first time I went to DYS. Was that when I told you I got arrested for the first time in Lawrence High fighting? I
Okay,
was
yep.
14. Got arrested. That's the first time I did DYS time, but I've been arrested before then.
That was the first time you got like locked up.
Yeah.
So, okay. So out here at Cambridge, we go with the Boston dudes, Metro Gym or whatever, Metro Detention. Where do they send you guys in Lawrence? Like, because I take it you're going to like the courts out there. Where do they send you to DYS?
Oh, they sent us all to NFI Middleton.
And okay, NFI Middleton.
Yeah, it's like right across the street, like
From the
probably
court.
like 4 blocks away from Big Middleton, where everybody goes to county.
Okay, okay. And what was that experience like for you? Was like, because I know sometimes DYS could be just as wild or even wilder than adult jail. Was it pretty crazy, or did you do all right? Did you get in trouble?
I did great. Anytime I was in DYS, I was like an honor roll student. I was resident of the week. I never got in trouble at all in DYS.
Nice.
DYS was like I was older than my age, so I'll
Yeah.
be there with little kids. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna fall into
Yeah.
fighting little kids. I was just kept to myself.
Yeah, I by the time I actually got like to do like I did 2 weeks, by the time I actually had to do like months, I was almost 18 and stuff like that too. It was it was the same.
Can't really feed into it.
Yeah, I feel like a bully or something. So those kids were so small, man. But so did you end up getting like your GED in there, or do you just go to school? I guess what happens with that? You still not able to get that in juvenile, the GED, or
So when I was a juvenile, I was in the process. I did like 2 tests that had other tests for GED, so many tests. So I passed 2 of the tests, but I ended up aging out before I got to do.
I hate how that like they should have like some sort of follow through or something. Like when you get out, like just I don't know, you can't start something and then just you aged out. Like I don't know, I don't like how they do that. But so now you're introduced to the adult system. You get 2.5 year county bid. I guess talk a little bit about what that was like, and then like the difference from you going to be like the oldest cat, right, with the younger cats, to be more the younger cat with the older guys, right? Like what was that experience like in that adjustment?
It's gonna sound crazy, but when I got to county, I loved it. My first day there, I got into the first cell fight. Got my shit raw. I ain't gonna lie, I took an L. I ain't get my eyes white, but I took an L. But it was from there. I was just fighting a lot, and I loved it. I got a reputation for fighting. Everybody knew me. Don't mess with me, or everybody from the streets would come in. They're like, "Oh, Joel's there. You got to fight with Joel." But it ended up taking an ill reputation that it boomed me. It boosted my ego, and I was like, "All right, I'm only here. I was looking at the time. I was still looking for attempted murder, so I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just fight everybody. I'm looking at so much time. Who cares? Run my time concurrent."
So how do you go from the kid that's in juvenile, like you said, model resident, right? Now you're in adult jail, you want to fight everybody. Was that something that like a lot of stuff that just carried over from the street that like just had to be handled kind of deal? Or like what was it? Was it the fact now you're looking at time? Like, you know, serious amount of time, considerably, you know, attempted murder charge. I guess what was like going on with you and why?
So definitely, every fight I got into in jail was carried on from the street.
Yeah.
Like, literally, probably only one fight that I got into that had nothing to do with me in the streets. It just happened. But every fight I got into in prison or in county, it was all from the street. And I felt like I was the youngest from all my boys, all my niggas. I was the youngest, literally the youngest. Even though I'm tall, I was one of the tallest, but I was the youngest. So I felt like they all knew how to fight, and I'm like, I gotta keep up with them. So every time somebody would come from the street that might have had an issue with one of my boys, I'm like, listen, we gotta go on the side. We gotta get this.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. It gotta happen. So I grew that habit of doing that so much that I would just fight every time.
Honestly, that's the best way. Like, let's just confront this. That way, I'm not walking around thinking if this dude's gonna suck at me. Or like, yo, I'm the dude that this member that who did that to you. That was me. Like, meet me in the cell down here. Let's get it out the way, bro. Like, let's get that out the way. But so what are you doing your first 2.5 years when you're not fighting, right? What are you doing to pass your time? And was there a lot of whole time involved with all these fights, or talk about that?
Nah. In Middleton, if back then now is I got heard from what I heard it's way different. But back then,
Everywhere
Middleton is like it was.
you could bang and get away with it.
Yeah, I fought twice a month. I got into a different cell and fought with somebody in the cell and got away with it every time. I went to the hole one time for a fight because I ended up jumping into it. But besides that, everybody was just locked in, and I was able to I'll fight with you, and we live on a block together like it was nothing. We wasn't friends or nothing,
Right.
you stay in your lane, I stay in my lane. It was nothing. That's it.
You guys weren't whist partners or nothing, right? Nothing like that. But was it something more so like you guys are just it was like slick, or do you think like the COs didn't care? Because I remember when I was in Concord, dudes are fighting in the cell. Everybody can hear it. I know the CO can hear it, but he just doesn't care. Like, was that the instance up there, or was it just kind of like a way where it's like they just really didn't know what was going on?
So I guess
A little bit
say like 8 times out of 10, the CO didn't know.
Okay.
But it was those 2 times that they knew. And one of the time I fought with somebody, he got the same person I fought, got mouthy with one of my boys. My boys went and fought with him after. The CO said, you know, that's enough. I let you get away with it the first time. I'm not letting y'all get away with it. So they took them to the hole. He didn't take me.
Yeah.
I guess he let me get away with it. He told me, don't do it again. If you do it, let me know. But
okay.
The COs was in Middleton back then. It wasn't that crazy.
Okay. So, and did they have the dogs back then and all that too? I guess what was that like? Was that, I mean, did you ever see them attack people, the dogs, or like, or was it just like, how was it walking around knowing you could? You think, damn, you might get bit. I don't know.
Nah. The Middleton back then was ran by the dogs. I don't know how it is right now. It was ran by the dogs. There was this one lady, white lady. If you're in Middleton time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Her dog was so trained. He does not bark. He did anything, nothing. She'd be standing right next to him, holding his leash, and you could have a pen in your pocket, and I don't know what he does, but she'll look at you and be like, "You pull over."
Wow.
And that's literally how she say, "You pull over." So empty your pockets, and you don't got nothing. She say, "Empty your pockets." She always gonna catch you with something. But I've seen COs get bit by dogs. I've seen inmates get bit by dogs. So the dogs, once you hit it, when you'll be fighting somebody here, the dogs get on the floor. Anybody standing is getting bit by dogs. COs or inmates all alike.
Okay. So talk a little bit about like when you start getting short, right? Do you ever hit the farm? Like I always hear about Middleton, they got the minimum security. Is that something that you were able to do? And did you eventually try to get your GED this time in there, or any schooling or anything like that while you're doing a 2.5?
So I did sign up for my GED. I was in Middleton doing it. I ended up stopping because one time one of the dudes in the class wilded out and stabbed the teacher.
Oh damn.
So they stopped it for like 6 months, all the GED programs. But then when they restarted it, I was doing it again. And the dude that I was in jail for shooting, even though I beat that charge, he ended up coming in. So because he came in, and he started GED, they took me out of GED.
Oh, okay.
Then when they took me out of GED, they sent me to the farm. So yeah, I ended up going to the farm.
Okay. So how did it go at the farm? Did you end up wrapping up from the farm, or did you get lugged out of there?
I went to the farm. I was in there. I had still had like a year left. So I mean, 2.5 years flies, but it,
But
it
yeah,
it dragged at the same time. So I was in there. The farm is the easiest place in the world. If you're in the farm, it's easy.
yeah,
Well, back then it was. So I was in there selling K2s, selling cigarettes, just gambling all day, doing pretty much nothing with my life.
yep,
I had a cell phone. I got caught with a cell phone. I got lugged back.
yep.
And somehow a week later, they sent me right back to the farm.
Damn.
And I was there. I was doing community service crew. So I used to leave, and we had another cell phone. Got caught with that one again, and they lugged me back. Somehow, 5 months before my wrap up, they gave me parole from Middleton
Wow.
and told me I gotta go to the farm. So I went to the farm, and they let me out within like a couple of hours.
Okay, so now when you get the parole, they send you to the farm, you start getting short, right? Like, do you end up start developing like some sort of plan this time, or like what's your mindset, right? Are you ready to put the life of crime behind you, or was this like you sitting there, you did your first county bed, it's more like a feather in the cap, now you come home and like, I guess talk about that. What was your mind state getting out that first time?
Yeah, my mindset getting out the first time was nothing positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on parole, so I knew I had to do positive. But even on parole, I was doing a lot of negative. So I was never, and when I was young, I never thought like, oh, I must stay out of trouble and I must be positive. I always said, all right, I'm gonna keep on with this street life and I'm gonna go do a bid or I'm gonna get killed.
Yeah.
So I always had that. I was realistic with myself. Like the way I was moving, I knew it was either die or jail time. I never thought like, I was gonna be a Joe Blow or a good citizen. I was always those two things with my future.
Okay, so did you end up completing the parole, or did you have to go back on a violation?
No, I completed the parole because I had literally when they gave me the parole, I had 5 months left. Then because since I took parole, they tacked on an extra month, so I ended up doing 6 months on parole
Mhm.
with a bracelet on, and I completed it, no problems.
Okay, so after you complete your parole, I guess walk me through the events that go from that lead up from then to you catching the 10-year bid. Like how long in between, like from when you got out, what happens, and I guess get into a little bit about what that was about, and what they locked you up for 10 years for.
So I paroled out. I remember from the farm late July, early August, and I was out for 9 months. But like 3 months, 4 months being out, I got my son's mother pregnant. Once she got pregnant, I don't know what clicked in my head, but it was like grind mode. Now I got a son coming. I'm in the streets. I'm doing this. I'm doing illegal stuff. I'm doing bad shit. I'm just went even harder. Started doing home invasions. Somehow I end up taking my glove off in a home invasion and touching something. And they got my fingerprints on it. My house get raided. They find me. They didn't find nothing for the home invasion in the house. So get locked up for that. It's gonna be crazy. They sent me to Middleton. And Middleton, there was a guy that shot my brother. So I got into it with him, started this big ass riot, and they sent me to Boston. To Nashville
Nashville.
Street. In Nashville Street, I was locked up with Aaron Hernandez. And from there, I bailed out for $45,000. And I was out for 6 months on bail and caught another home invasion charge in Connecticut. During that home invasion, I got shot in the head. And that got me 10 years.
Damn. So you got shot in the head during that too. So talk. How long were you with Hernandez, and I guess what was that like?
I'm not into sports. The only reason I knew who he was because I seen him in the news, and when he got to the jail, it was like the biggest thing in the jail. Like, oh my God, he's
Yeah.
here. National Street, I was in 6'2", no, 6'3". 6'2" was the workers block, so I was in 6'3" as a yellow unit, and that's like the lifers block. Everybody looking at time was there. I don't know why they put me there. I was just on home invasion, but put me there, and they moved him there. And I was a runner, so I used to interact with him.
Okay, so then you bail out $45,000, and then you still doing the home invasions, man. Like what? I guess if you were to look back and think like what was going through your head, like you just got out of jail and you're doing the same thing. Like what do you think was going? You think you were just sick or blinded, or like now that you have like a clear mind, what do you think was going on?
So in 2015, when I did bail out, I tried to ask the DA for a deal, and the DA said, "I'm not giving you no deal." And I'm like, damn, they got my fingerprint in the house of a home invasion. I'm like, in Mass, you get found guilty in a home invasion, that's 20 years mandatory. So in my head, I'm like, I'm going back to jail.
Damn.
So I
Yeah.
got no choice but to go hard. Now I gotta stack
Yeah.
up money and just make things better for me for these 20 years. Because if I go to trial, I'm gonna blow trial. And
Wow.
I'm gonna get 20. So I went hard. But
Yeah.
I went out of state, started doing things out of state.
Wow. Okay. So then talk about like, this home invasion that you got caught for, and then you said you got shot in the head. Was that by the cops, or was there somebody? I take it there's somebody home, right? Home invasion usually means somebody's home, right? Like I forget because I think I had a juvenile charge like that. Home invasion with intent to rob, bro, and it was because somebody was home. I guess, like, I mean, damn, what an experience that is, bro.
So the dude, I guess the dude's boys set him up. It was an old Dominican dude. When I grabbed him, I think it was everything happened so fast. I didn't get to get the gun off of him. I'm walking with him. He pulls the gun out. I try to fight. Like it's not like in the movies. You do not go for a gun and you do this and you do that and I end up shot. No, or at least it wasn't like that for me. When I seen the gun, I fought him. Like I was trying to knock him out. He was letting that shit go. He shot me 3 times. When he shot me in my thigh and buckled my legs, when I looked up, he hit the gun in my head and it peeled my wig back right here. Shot me right here.
Damn, bro. Wow. So I take it, what, you wake up in the hospital in like handcuffs, or like, I guess, well,
I I woke up in like no, I'm lying. I didn't wake up in the hospital. I woke up on the floor of the house.
really?
Like I know
Yeah.
I must have been out because when I got shot, hit the floor, everything went black.
Wow.
When I woke back up, there was a cop and the guy was just talking over me like it was just like if I was just like a piece of furniture
Like, you
on the
weren't
floor.
even there. That's
They were
crazy.
just talking.
Wow.
So I get up, my whole thing is leaking. I'm asking the cop, I'm like, why you not calling the ambulance? He's telling me to calm down. I'm telling him, F you, I'm not calming down. You don't know nothing, you're not a doctor. They take me to the hospital and they said I had I had like brain swelling. I was hemorrhaging blood. And they put me like an induced coma for like a month.
Wow. Induced coma for a month. So they keep you in the hospital the
Yeah,
whole time?
I was in Hartford Hospital for a whole month, knocked out, longest dreams of my life.
Wow.
When I woke back from there, my mother woke me up, and the only thing I could move was my eyelids and my middle finger from my right hand.
And did it feel like you were like out for that long, or was it like it felt quick, like, and then you woke up
Nah,
and
it was
like,
long. I had a long ass dream.
you
Like
remember
I
dreams?
remember the
Wow.
dreams. And I'm like, yo, why is this dream so long? It was just long. It kept going, so it was definitely long.
Reminds me of the Tony Soprano when he was in the hospital and he was having the crazy dreams. But I guess fair to say, was that like the worst day of your life? I mean, you got arrested for something that you end up getting 10 years for, and then you got shot. Was that one of the worst days of your life?
Nah, it wasn't like
Was it even?
I wasn't it was, even the arresting. Like me doing time never bothered me. Being arrested, none never bothered me. The worst day was when I finally left the hospital and they put me to the prison,
Mm.
and I had to have an inmate help me like clean my ass like I'm a bully
Oh,
and everything. That
damn.
was the worst thing.
Damn. And did he get like good time and paid for that type of deal? I would imagine. I
In
hope so.
Connecticut, they got a CNA program,
Okay.
so they pay inmates like $20 a month
Okay.
to be CNA, pretty much nursing assistant, certified nursing assistant.
Oh, that's a cool program though, at least. So I guess talk about that, right? You're from Mass, you're from Lawrence, which is almost by New Hampshire. You know what I mean? It's pretty far from Connecticut. Now you're in Connecticut. What's that experience like? Does anybody, you know what I mean? I take it, did you know anybody? Were you just a stranger? Did you feel like um that everybody else was kind of had their own cliques and everything, and you were kind of left out? I guess talk a little bit about that. But you did time anyway. Time is time, I guess, but it does help when there's people you know. But talk about going like out of state, having to do time, and how that was.
Bro, it's crazy because Mass, Connecticut is like water and oil. It's like two different things. Mass is straight gangland. Connecticut is like everybody to themselves because over there they give you 3 days a month of good time.
Mm,
So everybody walks straight line. Nobody wants to get in trouble because if you get in trouble, you only get they take away 15 days of your good time. They take away your commissary. They take away your visits.
mm,
They take away your phone calls. Take away your rec. They take away so much things for you for one trouble, and they don't give you good time for 6 months. So everybody tries to
wow,
conserve them 3 days a month.
wow,
And Mass, they give you go to the whole. You don't take away the good time. You just don't earn a good time. So everybody
yeah.
goes right back and get in trouble.
Yeah, and right now it's crazy too. Dudes are going in the hole for like a week for like a stabbing,
Yeah.
which is good. Dudes was telling me he was in the hole for a month and a half for fighting it somewhere else. I was like, geez, that is crazy. But so how does it work as far as, right, Connecticut? How many state prisons are there? Is there like your brother did time in Mass, so you got the Concord, which or Walpole was classification. You're there for a couple months, and then they tell you where you got to go, and then that's pretty much where you're at until you go up or down based on like how you act. How is it in Connecticut? Do they have like a classification place, or do they do that all in one prison?
Nah, they definitely they got the same thing. They got a lot of prisons just like out here. They got a lot of prisons. They had a classification place, but I got to skip the classification because when I got to the jail to the prison, I was shot. So I did 2 years in rehab in the medical facility. So by the time I was sentenced, already been sentenced for a year. So I skipped classifications and went
Mhm.
straight to population.
Okay. And then, so, I mean, how long did it take you to fully recover, I guess? And like, what's that like? Because I was talking to my boy too. Sometimes, sometimes I wake up with like a sore shoulder, a stiff neck or something. And then in my head, I'm like, today's going to be the day where someone's going to want to fight me or something like that. But like being shot and having to rehab, did you feel vulnerable, or being like in kind of a medical place where everybody's kind of got like something they're dealing with? I guess, what was that like?
Yeah, so see, that's why I ended up going to population after like 2 years because I felt like where they had me in the medical facility, it was like PC to me, and it's like everybody in there was vulnerable and nobody got in trouble, and I'm like, this cannot be like, cause I'm so used to Middleton. Anybody done time in Middleton is like, it's just everybody's fighting.
Right.
I was all getting into fights, so now I'm in a place that nobody wants to fight with each
Felt
other.
weird.
And I'm like, I'm not saying I was able. I was literally a quadriplegic. I couldn't move from my bed,
Wow.
but I did not like the fact that nobody wanted to fight with nobody. Nobody even tried me. I'm like, this is not life. I gotta
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah. And then eventually you get out, and then I guess how does that work? How do you start to like, how does it work? Like, where do you know? Like, I always wonder, like, because one of the weird things about like jail or prison is like when you go to chow that first time or something, and maybe like Walpole, they had this table, like this is those 978 guys or whatever. You know what I mean? This is the Boston table, rock, whatever. Was it something like that, or was it some places you just sit as you go in, or was it already things established that you had to adjust to and then kind of adapt to maybe different politics? I guess, what was it like there?
So like politics over here is way more turned up, but over there it was they had like, I ain't gonna lie, I guess every state got their own politics, but it wasn't that bad. So when I did go to Chow Hall, 'cause I rarely went, I always had commissary, but
Hmm.
excuse me, when I did go to Chow Hall, I mean I could literally sit anywhere. I mean there might be a table with just having a gang meeting type stuff, and
Right,
then
right.
everybody be like, "Yo, they'll tell me no disrespect.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
sit
yeah.
over there?"
Yeah,
Respectfully, I just walk away.
yeah, absolutely.
But besides that, everybody Connecticut was straight respectful. Nobody ever tried me, nothing like that.
So was it like a racial thing though? Did you sat down with all the other guys, the Spanish guys, or you just sit anywhere? Like you said, with white dudes, black dudes, or is it still kind of racially divided? Like, okay, at least this area is generally like this is where the white guys sit. Well, I guess break that down.
Oh no, no, Connecticut's not like Connecticut was openly everybody messed with everybody. Everybody was friends. White, black, Spanish, Asian, everybody. I got to meet all type of people.
Okay, that's what's up, man. All different cultures and all that stuff. So I guess break down how it works as far as like the yard, right? How, is it a big yard like softball field, basketball courts out there? Is it a small rec deck kind of yard, or what's the yard like? Or did you have a yard, gym, free weights? I guess like break down like the rec situation.
So like they got so this is weird. So when I first got out of the medical and they had me in population, I was in the say pretty much over there by levels, but so the max. So level 4, I was in the level 4 facility, and there they had free weights,
Hmm.
and they had a big yard, but you can only go there during your gym time.
Okay.
But it's not like you go out there and wreck all day and conversate with other units. You only go with your unit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Use that, and they have universal weights out there, little two like machines
yeah.
and some like cardio machines, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. And what did you do as far as like your recreation, as far as time? Like, how did you spend a lot of your time? You one of those guys playing cards all day? Did you work out? You said not much of a sports fan. Did you play sports or anything like that? How did you pass your time during rec, not like cell time?
All right, so like the rec time, I was gambling,
Okay.
poker, and it's crazy in Connecticut. Nobody plays whist. They don't even know what that is.
Really?
It blew my mind because in Mass, I love bid whist. That's my
Yeah.
thing. I could play that for days. Connecticut, they play spades still.
That was like that's what we played in
And
juvie.
juvie, yeah.
Yeah. So then we got to play whist. That's crazy. So you were so you pretty much did your time at the table and all that stuff. That's how you did most of your time. Did they have like TVs on the units and the cells or anything like that too? Do you get to buy a TV?
All right, so that's the lit part about Connecticut. I had a TV in my cell. I had a CD player, like with real CDs,
Wow.
and I had trimmers. I had hot pots, stingers. I had all type of shit. Like electronic wise, Connecticut is lit
Yeah.
compared to Mass.
Yep.
Like, you can buy almost any electronic you want. Some
Wow.
dudes got Lassos and they got Bose radios, boom boxes. I had a boom box in my cell, so it was that when it came electronic wise, don't got nothing. Mass don't got nothing on it.
Okay. And did you get right into like when did you start to I know you said you learned in Middleton. When did you start to like sew as a hustle there? Was that something that like when you got to a unit you do, or you kind of fall back and kind of peep and see who's doing what and then you make your move? Or
Nah, when I sold in Middleton, it was just like for fun. Somebody gave me a needle one time when I was young, and I used to sew around for fun. It was never a hustle.
oh, okay.
When I got in Connecticut, it was literally a job. So
Yeah, yeah.
I had to go on a machine all day and sew. So it
Okay.
wasn't like sewing by hand, it was literally sewing with a
With
machine.
the machine. And were you able to like sew stuff for like, as a side hustle, maybe like bring in something and sew up like a long sleeve tee for an inmate and then you sell it or something like that? Or were you not able to do any like side hustle as far as that goes?
I mean, it wasn't legal, but yeah, you
Right.
definitely can.
But guess
You just sneak down a t-shirt, put it in your pants, and you make a tank top out of it, make a long sleeve out of it,
hmm
or make dudes because I just did 10 years, so the Sh0t, the mask, that shit wasn't popping when I came
Right,
in.
right.
But during there, everybody wanted to push Sh0t masks, so I had to make those masks,
Wow.
put the symbol, the Nike symbol, everything on it.
That's cool though, man. Because people don't realize too, like you said, you were getting paid, but yeah, what were you getting paid again? $10 a week or something like that. You got like if you're gonna be doing any bit of time, especially after a couple years, you should have some sort of side hustle, or you might need to if you don't, unless you have people that really just can take care of you, or maybe you have money like that. But like, it's important to have like maybe get a little store. Like I did a little bit of the gambling book, you know what I mean? But it was kind of like a situation where I was able to I was kind of middleman in there for somebody. He left, and everybody's already coming to me, and I was like, all right, I think I know what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? And then it kind of went from there. But then I started getting close to going home, and I was like, you know what? This is too much trouble than it's even worth. I don't what. You know what I mean? Something have to pop off over some stupid money. I'm going home in 6 months. I'm good, bro. But like, I guess talk the importance of that. Like, and you said clippers too. Is that something that you did? Like, did you cut hair or
Nah, I mean,
what did you mean by?
I have my own. I used to cut my own, like, because
Yeah,
luckily my beard grows in full, so I could line my stuff up, clean it
yeah,
up. Then I didn't, and over there when it came to razors, like masks and razors, they freely with it.
yeah,
Over there, they give you a razor for an hour. You got to give it back to them. It can't be tampered with.
yeah.
I'm not gonna pop it out because
Yeah, you
that's
do
how
all
I had
that. Yeah.
mask. Pop it out is the best way. I couldn't do that, so
Okay.
I'm not gonna shave. So they gave you sell trimmers and they sell you the shaver and everything. So I just use that to keep myself groom myself. But as for like, what's the other question you asked me?
So, about like, I guess I was talking if you did. I mean, you answered the question was pretty much about like if that was something you did, like cut hair lineups and stuff like that for a side hustle. So, I guess besides the the sewing, did you have any other side hustles? I know some people they do portraits, paint all that stuff. Was there anything else that you kind of got into in there? As
Oh,
far as
I
that?
did everything. I was doing portraits, but see, I did portraits. I did the tickets. I ran tickets for sports, for basketball, football, sometimes baseball, depending. I mix baseball with hockey when it's depending on how much NBA games are on for the day or how much
Yeah, yeah.
NFL games. And did the store. I always had a hustle. Oh, and my biggest hustle was selling oils.
What do you mean selling oils, like fragrances?
Yes.
Okay, so talk like what do you like? How would you? I mean, you don't got to give the secret sauce away. What does
I
secret
mean, I
rapper
could
say?
'cause I don't think so. Muslim oil for
Okay.
they sell it to us in Connecticut prison. Sell us a little bottle, like 1 ounce bottle for $7. But it's like they have Egyptian musk, lavender, frankincense. So these are like for praying, like
Yeah.
for the Muslims to pray. There was a friend of mine that he had a shit back.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yep.
And I got him approved to get oil sent in. So I used to order like YSL, Gucci, Burberry, and I
Oh,
order so much, and I'll sell for that 1 ounce. I'll pay like $50 for like 16 ounces, and that 1 ounce, and I'll sell that same little bottle that they sold. I fill that little bottle up and sell that for $50. So I'll make that one little bottle pay for the 16 ounces, and the next 15 ounces are just profit.
yeah. Okay. Hell yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Let's get some smell good. I remember we used to use we used to cut out the magazines and stuff like
Oh yeah,
that, bro.
that's how I did that's how I did the middle.
Yeah, just to whatever, put it with my clothes and stuff, man. Just to smell a little. It just it reminds you of the street. Like you'd be surprised, like scents and like even just like when I go into like a school or a hospital, it kind of reminds me of like the prison scent and all that. But so well, do you get your GED in there? What kind of programs did they offer in there? I know you were working, but did you start getting into any programs or any things to try to better yourself? And I guess when does that mindset change for you? Because now you seem to be like, yo, I ain't never going back, all that stuff. Was that like in like recovering from being shot, or was it something like halfway through the bid? So yeah, I guess talk about like what programs you did and then like when that mindset started to change.
So as soon as I got out the infirmary, that I was able to start like fend for myself, and I was walking on with a walker, and I started doing a GED class. I got my GED, and after GED, I got luckily. It's crazy that when I finished getting my GED, which wasn't that hard. I mean, I studied it for like 6 months, and then I got it. But as soon as I was done with that, I was done with the GED. I was also done with the walker, and I was walking with crutches.
Hmm.
I joined the carpentry program, and I got certified as a carpenter.
Oh, nice. That's what's up, man. And how long was that? Like was that just like a year program, or were you in that for like a couple years? How does that work?
I was in there for about almost a year.
Okay, that's what's up, man. And what's your opinion on as far as like programs in education? Do you think there should be more in prison? I'm a big advocate. I feel like the more the better. Like that's the really the things I feel like is going to help people when they get out and not come back is like if they get a skill or education. I guess what's your opinion? Do you agree with that? Like your time in, you did 10 years.
Definitely, definitely. Because when I got into the carpentry program, they had me learning how to use Sawzall,
Hmm.
table saw, like every machine that I thought I'm in prison with dudes doing 60 years or better.
Right.
I could literally sneak out any of these knives or anything I want because they made me a tech. So I was at all hands control on everything. And I'm just thinking like, yo, if somebody was get mad and they could just stab anybody. So, but at the same time, like, damn, they're giving me the trust to be able to use this while I'm in prison. So it made me feel like, damn, I'm not such a bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you gotta set the example too. Don't ruin it for the next guy. You know what I mean? By like you said, somebody go do something. Want to steal something out of there. Now, okay, now there's no program. It always takes one person to spoil it for everybody, bro. So, but now when you start getting close, man, what are some things that you start to look forward to? I know you said you became a father before that. Like, what was that like? Like being a father that whole time? Did you get to see a son or daughter? I forget. You said you had a son, and I guess what was that relationship like? Did you get to talk to him, and was that something you were looking forward to when you got out? Is establishing that
Yeah,
relationship?
my son was like my biggest motivation because I went in when he was one. Was there for his first birthday. I was there for his first steps. His first words was Dada. So
Mm,
that made me feel great.
yeah,
But those years, those 10 years, them shits flew.
I
Like
bet.
he's huge now. Now he's totally different guy than me. Who knows? He would have been raised different if I was home. But at the end of the day, he's different. But that time, I can never get that time back. And I love him definitely. But that was my main thing. My dad got killed when I was 4, and I'm like, damn. When I got shot, I'm like, damn, how I'm gonna leave him alone just like my dad left me? It's not fair.
Yeah.
And that's what changed my mentality to just go straight.
Absolutely. So, what are you looking forward to as far as the future with with your fatherhood journey and everything like that? Just watching them grow up and not like make the same mistakes you made, or would that make you proud? Or just talk a little bit of like what you're looking forward to being a dad.
He's different than me. So everything when I have him every other weekend because he lives in Haver. I live in Dorchester, but he's different than me. So I'm just super proud of him. Nothing that I liked growing up, even like only thing that he does a lot is have a lot of female girlfriends.
Hmm.
But he's still innocent. So I love that about him. He's
Yeah,
not negative. He don't all he wants to do is play video games, and he loves basketball right now. And that's
that's fine.
great. Growing up, I didn't care for sports. I wanted to be in the streets,
Yeah.
and that was it.
So, you must like who raised him? His mom, your kid's mom. You must be a big shout out to her. You must be happy for her for or whoever like raised him like that. No,
Yeah, his mother and my mother helped. My mother helped. She has her mother helped her, but she
take the
did it. She
village.
did it. She did. It takes a village, yeah,
Yeah.
but she did it all. I give it to her. She been through a lot of shit herself, and then for her to raise him, I pretty much left him alone, and she did a great job with him.
Respect, bro. Absolutely. So when you said you do 10 years in prison, what are some things that you learned about yourself during that experience? Some positive things that you learned about yourself, or even maybe some things you feel you have to work on. But what did you learn about yourself during that experience?
I was a knucklehead. I didn't have to get into all them fights growing up because I just did 10 years and I didn't catch not one ticket, not one
Hmm.
D board the whole time. When I was in Middleton, I was catching a D board once a month, but I did 10 years. I probably got into one argument, almost one scuffle, and that was it. But besides that, everybody messed with me. I didn't have an argument with nobody, and it wasn't like I was being soft because I was in Connecticut. I could have acted like I was the biggest gangster in the world, but nobody knew who I was, and I didn't. I played my role. It was just
Mhm.
me, and time flew by. To this day, I got dudes from Connecticut that I talk to more dudes in Connecticut than I talk to dudes in Mass.
That's fine. And like you said too, like all those fights in Middleton, besides the one, was from the street. So now you're in Connecticut. It's not like the dude from down the block's gonna walk in probably most likely any day, and you're gonna have to. So it's kind of like one of those things. Like, yeah, it's it's bad, but it's good too in a way too that you're away from all that and able to do a constructive bit and not fighting the whole time. Because if you had a fight for 10 years, what I mean, that makes for a long bid, bro. I'm sure. So, um. Yeah, absolutely, man. So but I mean, what was the worst part in your experience about being locked up? What are like some of the worst parts? A lot of this stuff gets glorified in movies and TV, music. So I like to always ask, like, what are some of the worst parts about being locked up?
Well, in Connecticut, it's like they got this thing where they'll just lock the jail down for no reason. I mean, they have their reasons they give us. I don't know if it's the true reason
Right.
to us,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
So there was two occasions where Connecticut's 2 hours away from here, right here,
Hmm.
and from Lawrence and from Dorchester. So my mother, I barely had visits because it was so far, and I
Yeah.
like over there they just shut the shit down for no reason. So my mother came one time,
Wow.
they shut it down. So she in the lobby saying there's no visits. So now she just drove 2 hours for no reason. She had to drive back.
Yeah.
So that happened 3 times. Second time, a female officer ended up dying while my mother was in the lobby.
Wow.
So they shut it down again. The third time she came with my son for the last birthday I was in jail for, and they didn't want to let him in because he has a middle name on his birth certificate, but then on the paperwork it didn't have his middle name, and they have his middle name, so they said no, they let him in. So she couldn't just leave him in the car alone. She had to go back.
Wow.
So those are the worst days for me because then I felt like crap. Man, then I couldn't see my family. I she just drove over here for no reason. And those are the only really stressful days I had.
Wow. That's crazy, man. So I guess doing all that time too, man. What is there anything that you would have did differently looking back at that, or do you feel like everything happens for a reason and like you would do it all the same, or is that maybe like sometimes there's like one thing that you would do different? Is there anything like that that you could think of?
I mean, hey, if I could go back and stop son, I'll stop myself from going to Connecticut because
Hmm.
even when I was doing all my home invasions and everything, I tried not to do towns, states where they smoke you. Like, I didn't go to New Hampshire and commit no crimes
Hmm.
because I know they'll lynch a dude out there.
Right.
So if I knew Connecticut gives 60 years to people, I would never step in that state to do any type of crime. But
Absolutely, man. And all right. So why was it important for you to come up here and tell your story, or why do you think it's important in general for people to come and tell their story after going through what they went through in life and in prison and all of that?
I feel like nowadays people glorify the negative stuff. Nobody glorify the fact that some nights you only had that one soup to eat, that one ramen, and if you know it's crazy, what helped me eat that one ramen and feel satisfied and not hunger, I'll read on the package it said it's serving for it's two people serving. So
Hmm.
I'm like, if it's two people, then I should be able to feel good.
Yeah.
Even though I know if you from the hood, that one ramen is not doing nothing to your stomach.
Nah, man. And like I grew up, poor and everything like that, but I never went to bed hungry until I got locked up, bro. Like I feel like most people in America don't know that feeling of having to seriously go to bed hungry.
And it ain't about if you who got the most money in jail because you can have the most money, but you locked down in the cell for a month straight and you can't order commissary. You either gonna eat the trash they're giving or you eat nothing. A
Yeah.
lot of times you ate nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the main message that you would want someone to get out of listening to your story? What would the main message you would want to portray in that?
Try to think twice. Think twice before you undo anything.
Mm,
When I was young, I didn't think at all. I just did it. Just
mm,
did it. Oh, this gotta be did it. I didn't think, oh, maybe it's just gonna happen if I do this. Now I just do it, do the consequences later. Consequences are never come later, they come right there on the spot.
hmm. So, say you had a chance to go back to one of them juvenile facilities and talk to like some of them young kids in there now. What's like maybe something you would say or something you'd want to touch on with them?
Yeah, it's crazy because I want to do that. I was thinking about showing up to like one of them old juvenile facilities I was in because I was in Peabody, I was in Middleton, I was in Worcester. I was seeing some shit called Spectrum, I think somewhere in Boston.
Yep.
I've been to Juvenile, so I would like to go and talk to them and tell them my story because I got shot in the head, I got shot in the shoulder, I got shot in the thigh, all over to some dumb street shit. That shit ain't worth it.
So what are some lessons you might want to teach them? I mean, I know there's lessons in your story, but anything specifically that you say they asked you, like, yo, what's my best bet at staying out of trouble? Is it like, yo, stay in school, get a job, or what advice would you give?
I can't say stay in school and get a job will keep you out of trouble. I think don't let your pride and ego get the best of you.
Hmm.
Don't think you gotta show out for this person or for this girl, for this boy. But like I said, I just used to fight because my boys do ill fighters. So I'm like, yo, I gotta show them that I can fight too.
Yeah.
That if we're in the jam, I got this.
Absolutely. And that era is all but over too. The fist fight era, even just like getting in a fight and getting away with it. You know what I mean? Somebody told me they got a fight a couple weeks ago. He's like, bro, I was paranoid for 2 weeks, like thinking I was gonna get rolled up on. It's like, bro, yeah, it's not even worth it. But I guess if there was anything that you wanted to touch on, we didn't get a chance to talk about, or just some last words for the audience before I let you go. And I just want to thank you again for coming through, bro.
Came home 10 years, staying in the trouble. I taking probation every 2 weeks. This dude is on my ass. I can't leave the state without permission. I can't do this. I can't do that. But it's easy. It's getting easier.
Absolutely.
So everybody if you just fresh coming home, just keep your head down, keep doing your thing. This shit gets easier.
Absolutely, guys. Stay out of trouble. Remember, guys, it is what it is. What's next is what you make it. This is the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm B. Luke, guys. I'm out of here. Peace. Bounce back, ain't got a moment when they see you down.